Well, obviously excited about a terrific opportunity tomorrow. Not only senior night, last home game, obviously a great opportunity to send the seniors off the right way, but a terrific opponent in Purdue who looked about as good as they've looked in a long time versus Ohio State last game. So it's important for us to not necessarily focus on all, senior night and all those things and just lock in on, trying to beat a really, really good Purdue team.
How hard is that, though, with, Jordan's got 10 family members coming in, and I'm sure others have family members coming in. How do you minimize those?
Yeah, I mean, it's because you got the presentation before, like most places do, and you try to keep the emotions out of it, but you also want to make sure you recognize your seniors. You don't want to neglect that. So it's a little bit difficult. Some guys have been great on senior nights, others have not. I remember Bakari had like 30 rebounds last year. I remember Akeem was horrendous and then hit a three, to win the game. So, just keep your emotions in check. Try to play the right way. Make sure you're not jacking up crazy shots for yourself, but more trying to help the team win.
You obviously want an NCAA tournament berth for everybody, but especially the seniors. What would it mean for them to go out with that?
Well, we certainly want it for everybody, but this senior class, I think they've shown great, fight through adversity. You look at Dupree and Murph, freshman year, we had a really, really difficult season. They not only did, they fought through that, they played through, we were so young and they played in tough games and were really, really close. And then bounce back with a terrific year. Then you look at last year, high expectations, a really good team, and it all just kind of falls apart in front of their eyes, a lot of things out of our control. Even this year, Eric being injured, Dupree's mom's situation, and we're right there. So, it'd be great for them. They deserve it. All four of them are great kids, great representatives of the university, and great teammates. It's been a lot of fun to coach.
With Jordan, everybody sees the numbers he's put up. Could finish top 5 scoring, number 1 rebounder. But what do you think his lasting legacy will be on campus?
I'm not a big legacy guy, just from a basketball standpoint, because when I look at Jordan, I look at him as a really, really good person who cares about being a good person. Every single day he wants to get better. He's got a kind heart. He cares about people. He cares about being a good person. And obviously from a basketball standpoint, he's one of the best rebounders ever played in the Big Ten. And to do that at 6'5", 6'6", it just shows you the type of determination that he has as a person, as a player. So he's going to go down as one of the best players to ever play here.
Richard, jersey retirement?
Yeah, not my decision. You probably got to ask somebody else. It's up to me. I'd retire them all, so everybody be happy and they play a little harder. But I don't know. I don't really know what all the parameters are that go into all that. So I'm not sure.
For the game he had.
If he scores 30 and gets 20 rebounds and we win, I'll push for it.
Your last home game, you already sort of mentioned how much you're going to miss him. It's such a big game. Obviously, you find yourself starting to think about how few games you have left with him, even though you're trying to focus on the moment, I guess.
Well, you're always planning and recruiting what you need moving forward, and he does a lot of things that you can't draw up in a timeout. Just finds a way to get a rebound that you don't generate as a coach. So that's where we're going to miss a lot of that. So it's something where I try not to think too far ahead. Obviously we've got to do our job and build a team, but more so just appreciate all those guys and appreciate Jordan and the competitive nature which he's played for the last 4 years.
Does Amir Coffey get a lot of confidence from a game like last week, or is the Big Ten's about matchups and some nights it's yours and some nights it's not?
No, I would hope he would. He was terrific. He was aggressive. He was, in attack mode. He was under control. He was confident. I was going to take him out at one point. It was going into a timeout, and he said, "I'm good," and I called that one off. So he didn't look tired at all. So yeah, that's playing well, playing hard, practicing the right way. Those all give you confidence, and he's been doing that.
How do you think the guys have dealt with the pressure of the last quarter or so of the Big Ten season, knowing that you're on or close to the bubble?
Don't really talk about it much. I have not sensed in any way that they're really concerned with that. I think we're playing pretty good basketball. You even look at Michigan. I thought Michigan probably said a little bit more about Michigan than it did us last time we played here. They were really, really good. But we played at Rutgers. We were right there. Played really, really well versus Northwestern. So I don't see it with this group. I think we've got a lot of guys have been there before, and they seem to be handling that well.
You spoke about the character of Dupree and Murph. Were there any times in their freshman year or last year where you saw them kind of step up when there was times, maybe more so last year, where they showed that character during tough times?
Yeah, I think with both of those guys, last year was hard because we saw a really good team it just evaporated, and it wasn't Murph's fault. It wasn't Dupree's fault. But they never felt sorry for themselves. They just kept playing through it, showing a good attitude. They've never had bad attitudes. They've never made it about themselves. They always care about the team. That's hard to do with a young team or with young players dealing with all that, and they never feel sorry for themselves.
When you're recruiting, do you have any idea about what players' attitudes will be like, or is you just have to see how they're going to be able to?
You try to. You certainly put a big premium on trying to figure that out. In recruiting, it is hard. Everybody tells you that their kid's great and he's got a great attitude and he wants to win, but rarely do they, get put in a moment like they get put in the moments they do in Big Ten basketball. That's hard to simulate. And, adversity brings out the best or worst in all of us. So you'd like to think that you're recruiting kids that are about the right things, and certainly that's top of the list of things that we're looking for. But they've never seen adversity like they've seen until they come here. And you're playing on national TV. You're playing in front of sold-out crowds. You're playing against grown men. You're playing with not only the basketball part of it, but so much to do academically. So it can catch you off guard at times, and those guys have handled it great.
The other seniors, obviously, haven't been able to play as much. Jarvis, not at all, but the other two, can you say a little bit about them?
Yeah, well, Jarvis was kind of the first guy that we set out to get in the Twin Cities, and we felt like we needed him. He fit our style of play. We loved him as a kid. So we really worked hard to get him, and unfortunately wasn't cleared, but has been a terrific member of our team, and he's got great perspective. He's great on the bench, great in the locker room, great in the dorms, talking to the guys. I mean, he's a leader in a lot of ways that people don't know about. So he's been a terrific member of the team, even though he hasn't played. So I know he'll go on to do great things. And, for Brock, obviously, fifth-year senior, those are always hard. They're not as easy as everybody thinks they are. And, he's been really, really good. I mean, he hasn't played as much. Came late. That was probably a challenge. But he knows how to play. He's a great kid, and I think he can help us moving forward, for the rest of the season. And Motts is another one where, it's a little bit more personal because I've known Motts since he was at Louisville. And, Motts also lost a father a couple of years ago, which was really, really challenging for him. Obviously, he was going to move on and wasn't able to complete that work. And we were lucky enough to be able to keep him, because that was important to me because I really like him as a kid. So he's never had a bad day. Gives us a lot. He's given us a lot in some certain games as well. So all five of them have been terrific seniors that we'll hate to see go.
Couple more.
All right? Thanks.